Hello and welcome. So today I have with me the JBL Boombox 3 portable speaker going against the JBL Xtreme 3. So remember, the whole essence of a comparison is not to know which speaker is better, but to know by how much is one portable speaker better than the other. So as always, first of all, we'll be going quickly through specifications and features, and then we'll get into the sound test, and then I'll be sharing my thoughts about both of these speakers. Okay, so without wasting time, let's begin. For pricing, you'll be looking at around $500 for the JBL Boombox 3 and around $300 for the JBL Xtreme 3. Prices might vary depending on your region, but I think you can get the JBL Xtreme 3 below $300 right now. There are many deals online if you check. I'll be throwing links in the description section for you all to check for the most recent prices or to purchase any of these speakers if you want. Always remember, technical specifications don't always translate into everyday use. Coming to size and weight, the JBL Boombox 3 weighs around 6.7 kilograms, while the JBL Xtreme 3 weighs 1.9 kilograms. So the JBL Boombox 3 is more than 3 times the weight of the JBL Xtreme 3. So the first thing you notice on both of them is the huge logo at the front, which I'm not really a fan of. I just wish the logo was a little bit smaller. It's just way too big. But many of you seem to like it, but well, it's what it is. Looking at the overall design, as you can see, the JBL Boombox 3 is a lot bigger than the JBL Xtreme 3. For easier carriage, definitely the Xtreme 3 is easier to carry around. As you can see, you have a carrying strap, and it's also got a bottle opener here, which is really good for, so if you want to pop drinks with friends outdoors, you can always do so, or even indoors as well. But for the JBL Boombox, you don't have a carrying strap. As you can see, you have this huge metal handle which runs across the speaker. It's very sturdy, but I just wish it was a little bit collapsible. That would have helped with carrying it around. Or better still, maybe they would have included a strap. Button placements are pretty much the same on both of them. You have your play and pause button, and then there is the volume rockers, and then there is the JBL Party Boost button, and then there is the power and Bluetooth connect button. Turning both of them to the back, as you can see, you have the standard USB port. So you can use both of them as a power bank to charge devices on the go. And then you also have the 3.5mm auxiliary port for wired listening. You charge up the JBL Boombox 3 via a dedicated power port. There is no USB-C, while on the JBL Xtreme 3 is charged up via the USB-C port. So bear that in mind. For battery life, you are going to be getting around 24 hours on the JBL Boombox 3, while on the Xtreme 3 you'll be getting around 15 hours. So remember, all these might vary depending on the music and the volume, but both of them have pretty decent battery life, can't complain. For charging times, it takes around 4.5 hours to charge the JBL Boombox 3 from 0 to 100%, while on the JBL Xtreme 3 it takes around 2 hours. Now coming to pairing protocol, on both of these speakers you have the JBL Party Boost, so you can pair up both of these speakers to play same music at same time. But there are some things you have to take note about the Party Boost. There are 2 modes. So there is the party mode, and then there is also the stereo mode. So on the party mode, both of these speakers just play same music same time, but on the stereo mode, one speaker is going to play the left channel and then another speaker is going to play the right channel. So in order to get stereo mode, you can only connect either 2 JBL Xtreme 3s or 2 JBL Boombox speakers. That's when you're going to get stereo mode. So you can only use party mode on both of these speakers when connected. You cannot use the stereo mode. It's going to play for only 30 seconds thereabout, and it's going to automatically detect that both of them are not compatible. If you already have the JBL Xtreme 3, you can get the Boombox and then connect it in party mode, and this would give you much more bass and loudness, and you get a much fuller sound. But what I noticed, in stereo mode there is a little bit more presence to the vocals and the instrumentals as opposed to playing on party mode. For connectivity, you are getting Bluetooth 5.3 on the JBL Boombox 3 and Bluetooth 5.1 on the JBL Xtreme 3. And there is multi-pairing as well, so you can connect them to up to 2 devices at a time and switch between them. Another thing to bear in mind is that there is no speakerphone on any of them, so you cannot make or receive calls via Bluetooth on any of these speakers. Both of them have IP67 dust and water resistance, so they are fully waterproof, which is really good. Alright, so the moment you all have been waiting for, it's now time for the sound test. So please put on your headphones, as this is going to be a binaural recording. So let's compare both of these speakers and see how they stack up against each other.
take my hand and we'll go to a different place, float on air, and we'll hide away. I'll be your escape. And feel the shifting winds tossing us around again. Hold tight, you're in. And just levitate.
Well, as you all must have heard from the sound test, the JBL Boombox 3 is definitely way more powerful than the JBL Xtreme 3. You get way more loudness, you get way more bass as well. The mids on the Boombox 3 are a lot more forward as well, and you get better soundstage and instrument separation. While on the JBL Xtreme 3 there is lots of compression going on, especially when you crank up the volume to anything above 70%, you notice it's just there, and it kind of hampers the sound quality. It's not that noticeable when you are listening below 60% volume, but once you crank it up to around 70% volume and above, you definitely hear that compression. While on the JBL Boombox 3, there isn't lots of compression going on, there is a lot more airiness to the sound. So this is where the three-way driver system comes into play on the JBL Boombox 3. So it does a very good job of dispersing the sound, making it sound a lot less compressed. Another thing I noticed is that you are going to get way more bass on the JBL Boombox 3 at high volumes than what you're going to be getting on the Xtreme 3. Because when you crank both of them to around 70% volume and above, you notice that the JBL Xtreme 3 loses way more bass than the Boombox 3. The Boombox 3 retains a lot more bass and you get way more rumble even at high volumes. So definitely the better speaker overall is the JBL Boombox 3, getting a much richer sound quality, way more bass, way more loudness as well, without loss of compression at high volumes. Another thing I noticed when listening to both of them is that the JBL Xtreme 3 kind of lacks bass at low volumes when compared to the JBL Boombox 3, because on the Boombox 3, even when you are listening at low volumes, you hear that rumble, you hear the bass a lot more clearly than what you're going to be hearing on the JBL Xtreme 3. So if you like listening to music at low volumes and you still want to hear a little bit of rumble to the bass, definitely the Boombox 3 is the way to go. You can't go wrong with it, because you really hear those low bass notes even when listening at low volumes on the JBL Boombox 3. So for those of you who always ask me which portable speaker is going to give you that bass that will rattle your windows, well, the Boombox 3 is definitely the one to get. I think that kind of justifies its high price tag. If you can't handle the lots of bass, definitely the Xtreme 3 is the way to go. Well, I hope this video helps you all out in deciding which one to go for. Let me know in the comment section below, is there any other speakers you want me to compare with the Boombox 3, and I'll try my best to do it. Feel free to check out other videos on this channel, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and remember to subscribe for more videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you all in the next video. Adios.